Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to This Week in Renewables, wherever you're watching from around the world. This is Season 2, Episode 11, your perfect bite-sized roundup of the renewables sector over the last 7 days across wind, solar and hydropower. I am your host as always, Mr. Deji Ogunsola, the voice you can trust. Don't forget to do all the good stuff, like, comment and sharing. It really does help with the visibility of this podcast. Available on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and the rest. This week in renewables, again, as per last week, the Ukraine war, I should say, has been heavily dominating the news and has definitely had an impact on the world of renewables. So much to say, I have seen some discussions with regards to Putin and is he the 2022 greatest influencer of renewable energy. I know normally when you think of the word influencer, you probably think of TikTok and Instagram. However, in the light of Russia's unjustified attacks in Ukraine, Putin has possibly emerged as 2022 biggest influencer for renewable energy. Right now, as commented last week, Russia, or Europe I should say, relies on Russia for around 40% of its natural gases, and this has to change. And last week I talked about Germany and the EU's plans, and there's been more news this week of many countries, including the UK, talking about how they need to reduce that reliance on Russian gas. So quite possibly Putin has become the biggest influencer of renewable energy in 2022, and let's see what happens over the next couple of months and the next couple of years. First of all, hopefully the war in Ukraine will stop as quickly as possible, and hopefully the countries in Europe will transition into clean energy, renewable energy as quickly as possible. Kicking off this week, we're looking at some offshore wind, as I haven't covered that in a while, and I have received some DMs with regards to why don't I speak about offshore wind. So today I'm starting off with some offshore wind, and Netherlands is to kick off the 1.4 gigawatt offshore wind tender. The Dutch government will soon invite applicants for permits for 2 new offshore wind farms totaling 1,400 megawatts in the North Sea. The wind farms lot 6 and 7 with the Hollandse Kust wind energy area are located 53 kilometers off the Dutch coast and are projects up to 700 megawatts each. The regulations with details about the procedures were published in the Government Gazette on 9th of March. The tenders are to be open from the 14th of April to the 12th of May 2022. After the closing of the tenders, RVO has 13 weeks to assess the received applications, with an extension of 13 weeks possible. The winners are expected to be announced in October 2022 later this year. So some good news to start off the week in terms of offshore and Europe. Moving swiftly on to some onshore news, and Swiss investor has acquired 6 French wind farms. Natixis Investment Managers, affiliate Morova, and Riva Private Investments, bit of a mouthful on a Monday morning, have sold 6 operating onshore wind farms to in northern France, totaling almost 106 megawatts to Swiss-based energy and infrastructure investor BKW. The wind farms are constructed under the partnership of Morova and Riv Private Investment and entered into operation between September 2018 and August 2021. BKW has increased its 700 megawatt of renewable energy facilities portfolio by 15% with this acquisition, and the projects produce about 250 gigawatts hours of electricity to the grid each year. So congratulations to all parties involved in the buying and selling of those wind farms in France. Some more news on the onshore wind site, and OX2, who have featured heavily in This Week in Renewables over the last couple of months, They have acquired a 40 megawatt Finnish onshore project. OX2 has bought the 40 megawatt Salo-Koski wind farm in Finland from the Tulivugot in a deal that is also includes project rights for the construction of 7 further wind farms. The Salo-Koski will comprise turbines with the total height of 220 meters. OX2 will begin wind measurements in the project area and will also begin construction planning this spring. And construction will start later in 2023. The project area is located near the border between Kuava and Pedoso, about 30 kilometers north of the center of Kuava. At this time of me finding this article, no details of the price of the deal were disclosed, unfortunately. However, I do have a comment here from OX2 Finland country manager Timo Lukanen, who said, domestic energy production is more important to us now, more than ever before. So fantastic news there. Moving on from wind energy to some solar energy, and another company which has featured a few times on This Week in Renewables, Lightsource BP. They have commissioned a 300 megawatt Colorado solar farm in USA. Construction outfit McCarthy Building Companies recently completed construction and commissioning of the 300 megawatt Bighorn solar project with Lightsource BP. Bighorn is the first large-scale solar project that McCarthy Renewable Energy and Storage Group is building in the area, in conjunction with Lightsource BP. Bighorn is the largest on-site solar facility dedicated to a single customer in the country and supports the nation's first solar-powered steel mill. Completion of this project also means that steelmaker Evraz will have access to cost-effective and predictable electricity rates that help ensure the mill, with its 1,000 local workers, is able to grow. So good news coming by way of Lightsource BP and America. Some more news on the solar side, this time coming from Canadian Solar, who have secured 2 PPAs with Axpo. As I said, Canadian Solar have recently signed 2 10-year PPAs with Axpo Italia for the purchase of 70% of energy production, energy produced by 2 solar power plants under development, totaling 84 megawatts. Axpo Italia is one of the largest market operators in the free market in Italy, and a highly reliable, bankable renewable generator counterparty, Canadian Solar have commented. The 2 solar projects of 33 megawatts and 51 megawatts are located in the central Lazin city of Viterbo and the western Sicilian city of Trapani, respectively. Canadian Solar is developing both projects, which are planned to start construction before 2023. Axpo Italia will purchase the project's clean energy solar electricity after they reach commercial operation, which is expected to be in January 2024, so 2 years ahead. So congratulations to all involved on that particular project in Italy. I know Italy does seem to be quite a hot spot at the moment. I've had a number of clients requesting profiles for project developers in Italy, so it definitely seems like that is going to be one of the busy markets of 2022. Last and not least, Hydropower, and work is underway on the Upper Trishuli 1 project in Nepal. Preparatory works for construction of the 216 megawatt Upper Trishuli 1 run-of-river hydro project in Nepal have begun, and this has been confirmed by Tractable, who are involved on the project as the consulting engineer. The firm, which is owned as engineer, as I said, for the project, has had its project team on site since the beginning of January, with kick-off meetings held in February this year. 3 experts from Tractable and national experts from its local partner and now constantly present to oversee the construction of this project. The project itself will be built on the Trushili River in the Rasawa region in a remote rural area where there is a need for infrastructure and economic development. So again, really fantastic news there to see this project underway. And Tractable, who I haven't talked about too much, but it's good to see that they're involved in this project as well, in Nepal, client who I've worked with many times before. That, my friend, sums up this week in renewables. Don't forget to like, comment and share. I've been your host, Mr. Deji Ogunsola, the voice you can trust, and this has been This Week in Renewables. Take care, God bless, goodbye.